Before he became the prince of darkness, Lucifer was the brightest, most glorious of all. Angels a being of wisdom, beauty, and radiance beyond human comprehension. His name, Lucifer, means light-bringer or morning star, a title that reflects both his brilliance and his position as one of God's highest angels. He was created to shine, to lead, to be the pinnacle of divine creation among the heavenly hosts. Scripture hints at his majesty. Ezekiel 28 describes him as the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty, walking in the garden of God, blameless until iniquity was found in him. Isaiah 14 calls him the shining star of the morning, exalted above all, yet destined to fall. Lucifer's role in heaven was not merely ornamental. He was entrusted with great responsibility, a leader among angels, a guardian of God's glory, and a model of divine perfection. Every angel looked to him as a beacon of light and wisdom, and even the most exalted seraphim would marvel at his brilliance. And yet, even in the midst of this splendor, a seed was planted, a seed of pride. The first spark of rebellion. Apocryphal texts, such as the Book of Enoch and certain Jewish mystical writings, hint at a larger, hidden story behind Lucifer's fall. They describe angels who walked the earth, secret knowledge whispered into human ears, and celestial beings whose ambition would shape the fate of the cosmos. These texts suggest that Lucifer's story was not just a personal rebellion, but part of a larger, cosmic drama, one that intertwined with the destiny of both angels and humanity. From the earliest moments, his brilliance became the precursor to a tragedy that would echo through eternity. The morning star, radiant and perfect, would soon face the shadow of pride, and the consequences would ripple across the heavens. While the canonical Bible reveals fragments of Lucifer's story, much of the deeper, more shocking narrative lies hidden in texts that were excluded from the official canon, texts that whisper secrets the ordinary reader seldom encounters. Among the most significant are the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, and a host of other apocryphal writings, often dismissed as obscure or forbidden. The Book of Enoch, written centuries before Christ, presents a vivid account of the Watcher's angels who descended to earth, taught forbidden knowledge to humans, and fathered the Nephilim. Here, Lucifer is not just a fallen angel of pride. He's woven into a larger cosmic drama, a rebellion that intertwines the fate of heaven with the corruption of the earth. The Book of Jubilees reinforces this narrative, providing detailed accounts of angels, secret teachings, and divine judgment, offering context to the snippets we find in Genesis and Isaiah. But why were these texts not canonized? Simply put, their contents were controversial. They contained stories of angels walking the earth, delivering forbidden knowledge, and defying God in ways that challenged early religious authorities. Some were viewed as too mystical, others too dangerous, or too politically sensitive, and thus they were excluded from the official scriptures. Yet, they survived in Jewish and early Christian traditions, preserved by scribes, mystics, and scholars who understood the magnitude of the truths they held. Their credibility may be debated, but their historical significance is undeniable. These texts shaped early Jewish thought, influenced apocalyptic literature, and were referenced by early church fathers, who sought to understand the unseen spiritual realm. In these hidden writings, Lucifer is not a mere symbol of pride. He is an actor in a cosmic theater of rebellion, seduction, and divine judgment, and the stories they contain are staggering. Angels teaching humans forbidden arts, giants walking the earth, secrets of heaven's hierarchy revealed, and the shocking realization that Lucifer's pride and ambition were not isolated incidents, but part of a vast, unseen battle that stretches across eternity. As we delve deeper, we will uncover the full scale of this cosmic drama, secrets that have been hidden for millennia, waiting to be revealed. The Book of Enoch tells a story so profound, so shocking, that it was hidden from the mainstream scriptures for centuries. It begins with the Watcher's angels of heaven, exalted and mighty, tasked with guarding creation. But these angels looked upon the earth with desire, and their hearts were tempted by what they saw. They descended from the heavens, leaving behind their eternal posts, crossing the boundary between the divine and the mortal. On earth they did not merely observe, they taught humanity forbidden knowledge. Metallurgy, the crafting of weapons and tools. Astrology, the secrets of the stars. Magic and sorcery, the manipulation of the unseen forces of the universe. What was meant to be divine guidance became corruption. As mankind learned arts and powers they were never meant to wield. Civilization was enriched, yet tainted. Knowledge came with a price. And the story grows darker still. The Watchers, drawn by desire, took human wives, and from these unions came the Nephilim, beings of extraordinary strength and twisted ambition. Their presence brought chaos, violence, and fear to the earth. They towered above humanity, living monuments to rebellion and sin. The consequences of this union were catastrophic, echoing through generations, as the earth itself seemed to groan under the weight of forbidden creation. And at the center of this cosmic corruption, some interpretations suggest, was Lucifer himself. Not merely a fallen angel of pride, but a subtle orchestrator, influencing the Watchers, whispering rebellion and desire into their hearts. His ambition was no longer limited to heaven. He sought to extend his influence into the mortal realm, weaving a web of chaos that bridged the celestial and the earthly. Heaven's brightest angels had turned to darkness, bringing corruption to earth, and at the center of it all was the morning star. What began as a longing for knowledge became a cascade of sin, a drama that entwined angels, humans, and the very destiny of the world. The heavens watched, and yet even in their defiance, the stage was being set for a reckoning far greater than any could imagine. While the canonical Bible hints at Lucifer's pride and fall, the apocryphal texts reveal a rebellion far more elaborate, a cosmic drama of ambition, secrecy, and war that stretched across heaven itself. In the Book of Jubilees and other hidden writings, Lucifer is depicted not merely as a rebellious angel, but as a being of calculated ambition, one who sought to ascend above God to elevate himself beyond the very throne of the Almighty. He did not act alone. Secret alliances formed among the heavenly host's angels, swayed by whispers of pride, by the allure of power, by the promise of greatness, without obedience. Together, they plotted, conspired, and dared to challenge the divine order. In these texts, the rebellion is not a single act of pride. It is a carefully orchestrated insurrection, a celestial coup that threatened to upend the harmony of creation. Jubilees and the Book of Enoch describe angels preparing, strategizing, and leading others into defiance. They taught forbidden knowledge, corrupted the innocent, and even sought dominion over creation itself. These accounts reveal a Lucifer who is both brilliant and Terraphenia master manipulator, a leader who lured others into rebellion, and a being who believed he could claim the glory of the Most High. The cosmic war that followed is breathtaking in scale. Michael and the loyal angels rose against the insurgents, battles erupting in radiant skies, swords of fire clashing with light, thunder echoing through the heavens. These scenes are far more intricate and vivid than the brief mentions in Revelation or Isaiah. Angels fell like stars from the heavens, their brilliance dimmed by rebellion, and the celestial realm itself trembled as the morning star led a charge that would forever change the balance of the cosmos. And yet, there is a shadow within this story that most do not see. Even after his fall, Lucifer's ambition did not end. He became the prince of deception, weaving corruption into humanity, influencing the Watchers, and perpetuating a rebellion that would echo through time. The apocryphal accounts suggest layers of intrigue, layers of cosmic strategy, and a depth to his fall that the canonical texts only hinted, leaving humanity to wonder at the true scope of his ambition and the secret history of heaven's greatest betrayal. The story of Lucifer and the Watchers does not end in heaven. Their ambition, their rebellion, spilled over into the mortal realm, shaping the destiny of humanity in ways both subtle and catastrophic. According to the Book of Enoch and other apocryphal texts, the fallen angels brought with them knowledge forbidden to humankind's secrets of astrology, magic, and sorcery. These gifts, meant to be divine guidance, became instruments of corruption. Humanity was awakened to power, yet seduced by pride and desire, stepping into a path of rebellion against the natural order. From these unions between the Watchers and human women came the Nephilim giants, and hybrid beings of extraordinary strength and ambition. They towered over mortals, bringing chaos, fear, and violence to the earth. Entire civilizations were reshaped under their shadow. The land groaned under the weight of sin. The heavens watched in sorrow, and the line between the celestial and the earthly grew dangerously blurred. These giants were not mere myths, they were living symbols of rebellion incarnate, a reminder of the consequences when divine order is defied. Even in the canonical Bible, echoes of this hidden drama remain. Genesis 6:1 references the Nephilim, the sons of God taking human wives, and the violence that filled the earth. What the Bible touches on briefly, the secret texts expand upon with vivid detail. The origins of evil, the corruption of humanity, and the devastating consequences of pride and rebellion. Lucifer's influence did not end in heaven, it flowed through the actions of the Watchers, guiding humanity into paths of sin and shaping the moral and spiritual landscape for generations to come. The cosmic stakes are staggering. This was not merely a story of angels or Manit, it was a battle that spanned realms, with Lucifer at its center, orchestrating a chain of events that would test the very foundations of creation. The lesson is clear. Pride, rebellion, and the misuse of knowledge carry consequences that ripple across worlds, and the shadows of these ancient choices still reach us today. The rebellion of the Watchers and Lucifer did not go unchecked. According to the Book of Enoch, chapter 10, God sent his divine judgment upon the fallen angels. The leaders of this rebellion were bound in chains, cast into pits of darkness, awaiting the final day of reckoning. Their punishment was precise and severe. The Watchers, who had corrupted humanity and defied heaven, were imprisoned, removed from the presence of God, and destined to witness the consequences of their pride and defiance for eternity. At the center of the celestial conflict stood Michael, the archangel, unwavering in his loyalty to God. Alongside other faithful angels, he confronted the forces of rebellion with courage, authority, and divine power. Swords of light clashed against shadows, celestial thunder rolled across the heavens, and the very fabric of creation seemed to tremble under the intensity of the battle. This was not mere metaphor. Apocryphal visions describe a war in heaven so immense that stars themselves were scattered, and the heavens shook under the weight of conflict. Lucifer, the morning star, the brightest of all angels, faced ultimate defeat. Revelation 12 verse 79 recounts the war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon Satan, his forces, and the dragon was cast down, along with all his followers. The texts paint a scene of divine justice. The proud, the ambitious, the rebellious banished from the eternal light, cast into darkness, and stripped of their former glory. This cosmic punishment restored the balance of heaven and ensured that the rebellion could not threaten creation further. Yet the story is not only one of punishment, it is one of order, justice, and the unwavering authority of God. The chains of fire, the imprisonment of the fallen, and the triumph of the faithful angels serve as a stark reminder. Cosmic rebellion carries consequences far beyond human comprehension. The heavens themselves bear witness to this ultimate victory. As the forces of light assert the sovereignty of God over chaos and pride, the stories of Lucifer, the Watchers, and the hidden texts of the Apocrypha are more than ancient myths, they are profound lessons for humanity. Timeless warnings woven into the fabric of creation. At the heart of these narratives lies a stark reminder of the dangers of pride and the power of obedience. Lucifer's fall began not with a single act, but with a desire to elevate himself above God, a refusal to submit to divine authority. From this, we learn that ambition without humility can lead to destruction, and even the most glorious gifts can become instruments of downfall when misused. The apocryphal texts also reveal the delicate balance of free will. Angels, humans, and even celestial forces were given choices, and with those choices came consequences both immediate and eternal. God's justice is unyielding, yet his mercy remains, offering redemption even in the face of cosmic rebellion. The imprisonment of the Watchers and the casting down of Lucifer illustrate divine justice, while the preservation of humanity and the faithful angels reflects mercy and the possibility of restoration. These stories are not relics of the past, they resonate today. The lessons of vigilance, humility, and discernment remain crucial. Just as the Watchers deceived humans with forbidden knowledge and Lucifer tempted angels and mortals alike, Deception and rebellion still operate in our world, whether through pride, temptation, or the allure of forbidden power. We face choices every day that echo the cosmic battle. Awareness and discernment are the shields that guard us against repeating the mistakes of heaven and earth. For personal reflection, these narratives call us to examine our hearts and our actions. Are we seeking glory at the expense of obedience? Do we embrace humility? Or are we drawn toward prideful ambition? Are we vigilant in discerning truth from deception, light from shadow? By meditating on these lessons, by understanding the consequences of rebellion and the rewards of faithfulness, we can apply ancient wisdom to modern life, choosing paths that honor God, uplift others, and guard our souls against the subtle, persistent forces of corruption. In the end, the story of Lucifer and the Watchers is not merely about angels or hidden knowledge yet. It is about understanding the stakes of freedom, the weight of choice, and the eternal consequences of pride and obedience. It reminds us that the battles of heaven and earth, though grand in scale, are reflected in our own lives, and that vigilance, humility, and faith remain our most powerful defenses in the unseen war around us.